wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. Don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rain, snow, sleet. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I've never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. Tired of complaining, I gotta change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day these take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating.
Well, Coach, this is playoff football in Chicago. The cold, the wind, the snow, and these Bear fans wouldn't have it any other way here inside historic Soldier Field. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here we go. Like 80! He's 59. Like the 59. I got it.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Matthews, the intended target. And not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creep.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's third and 3.
56, the mock, boys. 56. Check 56. Here we go, D. Get off the field.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And now look at him go. 20, 10, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Watch the pass.
First down, a run with Cohen. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Set the tone, defense. Alert, 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 alert.
Trubisky will throw. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
From the 44, Trubisky dancing to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
Now Pirine. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They will run for the first time here with White. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Niners' 29-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
We own them. Mike 56, Mike 56. Hey, Haywood.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. This is caught. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller, 29 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
30-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
Here we go. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step up.
On first down, here's Breida. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Garoppolo gives to Breida. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. He finds his tight end, Salek. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. These two teams all tied after 1. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Garoppolo, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Here's Breida. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brings up 3rd down.
Here we go. What do you need? You gonna see me in your nightmare, son. You gonna see me in your nightmare.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So what a let-off there. You figure that was an easy 3 points. Instead, it turns into nothing.
And from that close of range, if you start it left, your goose is cooked. And this thing, well, it never had a chance to straighten itself out.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bears have taken the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they...
Accelerating, and off he goes. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida, 75 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Gold with the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction.
Now it's Trubisky into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now it's Breida. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. This is Breida. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They run with Breida. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now Trubisky to throw. Incomplete.
Started to look like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Trubisky. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Eric Armstead able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And he's going to go down again. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And you're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll keep it on the ground again here. They find some open field here. It's a foot race. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, an 80-yard touchdown. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now it's Trubisky. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
He was taken down by DeForest Buckner. That's a gain of 6.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC Wildcard bout. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now this throw caught left side. And out across midfield down to the 45. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On first down, Cohen. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Verrett, on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing here, Trubisky. Completes it to Miller. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
March 56. Bravo. March 56. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 56 to Mike.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Garoppolo. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 39-yard line.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! Go, go, go.
On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Right there. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Watch twist.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10, right at the 40. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. 25 yards that time.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl. The tuck roll,
didn't you?
Yeah,
I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game in New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Garoppolo, he's going to give this to Breida on the draw. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, The way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
At the 31-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And he completes it to Cohen. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wildcard matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Quan Alexander in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
56 of Mike. 56.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Trubisky now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. D. Ford. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
To try again after the sack. Trubisky. He's got Burton here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Come on, 180! Alert, alert! Alert, alert! It's a party now! It's a party now! Hey, exit! 56, right there, right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. He sets to fire deep. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! Check the out, check the out, check the out.
On the handoff, this is Breida. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Here we go. By 20. It's 59. Mike to 59.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still 8 up time. Got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
Do you think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense.
Now Trubisky lost the football, and now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant you've got to hold on to the football or else we... And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 22. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. Here comes the 49ers punter now. It's always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. On 1st down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.